right, away we go. I got my friend Dan in the car.
What's up, everybody?
And he is new to the area. He is, as I mentioned before, visiting from Connecticut. All-star agent in Connecticut. So if that's something that you need, then again, reach out to him. I'm going to go wide on this. And I'm just going to showcase exactly what it's like in central Boynton. But I'm going to talk about the entire layout of the city. So anything that is close to the beach, obviously you're paying a premium because you have that access to that lifestyle. So I like to start my day by watching the sunrise at Oceanfront Park, which is in Boynton Beach. But the areas in front of and behind Highland Beach is, no, excuse me, I said that backwards. The areas that surround the Ocean Inlet Park, which is owned by Boynton Beach, or is part of Boynton Beach, is annexed by Boynton Beach, I think that's the right word I want to use, is Highland Beach. And there are ultra premium luxury homes that exist in that area. And so if you want to live that lifestyle, we're talking, 10, 20, $30 million homes right on the beach. They are incredible homes, but it's ultra luxury, it's ultra premium, it's high net worth, and the reality is most buyers are not shopping in that price point. So if that's the lifestyle that you want to live, we would love to help, obviously, but that's a unique buyer, right? It's not everybody. As you move away from that and go over Ocean Drive, away from the beach and into East Boynton Beach, you're going to pass over the Boynton Beach Marina. There's some great restaurants there. I've done tons of content of what it's like in that area, and I'll include that in this video too. But that area is on the come up, right? The developers have purchased the rights to develop there, and they are looking to turn that area into something more similar in scope, in size, in feel of Delray Beach. So I've done lots of videos about what it's like to be in downtown Delray. That's what Boynton is shooting for with this new development, with the money that they're spending on the infrastructure down there. And it's going to be incredibly cool. And don't get me wrong, it's cool now. I mean, I love to go down to that marina, rent jet skis, take the kids out for the day, or jump on a charter boat and go fishing. The marina is a thriving, fun place. There's what's there? The Banana Boat is there. Two Georges is there. Both great restaurants. They've got live music. They've got a happy hour and all that kind of stuff. It's a great place to go after the beach, but it's kind of dated. It's kind of it's got a rustic feel, and that's cool. But they're looking to bring it up a notch, and so that's going to be developed. It's going to be an incredible destination, and that's all coming soon. But right now we're on Jog Road. We are headed. So let me first define what I mean when I talk about East Boynton, Central Boynton, and West Boynton, because there's a difference. There's a difference in school systems. There's a difference in price points. There's a difference in age and quality of the homes. Not that there's any real bad section, but there is a big difference. So you've got that coastal lifestyle, which is exceptional. You've got East Boynton Beach, which I'll define as from Federal Highway. So Federal Highway to A1A in the ocean, that's the coastal Boynton Beach. And of course it's east, but I'm calling that coastal living. I'm gonna go through two little shopping centers here.
Cool.
And I'm gonna probably lose my train of thought, but as you can, I think, see, well, you'll be able to see when I turn, they're developing retail space in central Boynton, and that's what I want to showcase now because it's not really here very much. But you can see this is Main Street at Boynton. They're developing condominiums over here or apartments over there, I'm not sure which. And this area here, you've got a Sprouts, you've got a Synovius Bank, dental, but they're putting in a bunch of cool stuff here bunch of cool restaurants, high-end shopping and stuff like that, which is not that it's missing, it's close, but Boynton, we've got the Boynton Beach Mall. It's not the best mall out there. It's not the worst mall out there, but it's average at best. So they're going to develop this so it's trendy. There's apartments, there's condos, there's cool green space and stuff like that. But it's something that's kind of missing, right? There is no real trendy spot in Central Boynton right now. And actually, that's not true. Take that back. Renaissance Commons, which is also in Central Boynton, is very cool. It's very trendy. There's some really nice townhomes and apartments in there, but I'm not showcasing that in this video because I don't have time. Just know that it exists, and I will include some links to that in the in this content. So right now we've driven into the fountains at Boynton Beach, and this is really nice too. We just had lunch here at Lucille's.
Delicious.
How would you rate that?
I'd give it. I lived in Kansas City, so I'd give it an 8 out of 10 for barbecue.
All right,
but
8 out of 10 is strong.
Yeah,
I mean,
10 out of 10 for Florida.
10 out of 10 for Florida. We just passed LA Fitness, which I'm in, twice a day sometimes. This is the Lucille's that we just referenced. And if you do go, you need to try the buffalo shrimp. They are off the chain.
Oh, I could second that.
But you've got all kinds of different places. You got the Martini's restaurant here, dry cleaners. There's a barber shop over here. There's a high-end barber shop. There's a high-end nail and hair salon. There's a kids barber shop in there called Sharks, which is really cool because they've got these like thrones that you sit in, and like it's just really fun for kids. Got a Publix shopping center, and at Publix, shopping is a pleasure. Shout out to Chris Danner. Anytime I mention Publix moving forward, I'm going to mention my favorite employee, Karen, who is a cashier over at the Publix that we go to in Boynton Beach at the Canyon Town Center. But I also got to send a shout out to Chris Danner, who is the manager of the store in Boca Raton, the Greenwise that I mentioned in my driving tour of Central Boca. So I will link that video up here. I'm going to link everything, so everything is connected. But so we just went through the fountains of Boynton. We are now going to be headed west on Boynton Beach Boulevard. And the real estate, the single family homes that exist out here in this area tend to be a little bit older. They tend to be a little bit smaller. And while they're nice, if you go out west, what you'll find is bigger homes, newer homes. You got Alden Ridge, nice community. You'll find a lot of 55 plus communities that are out here in this neck of the woods. There are a lot of mandatory membership golf clubs that exist out here that are very, very nice. They're pricey, and you can see this green space over here. This is, I don't know if it's sold and being developed. Well, it's not being developed yet, as you can see, but they're doing something with this at some point in the near future. And away we go. We're headed we're headed west on Boynton Beach. On the left over here, you'll see Meisner Falls. I should probably pay attention to the road. This video will be far less enjoyable if I rear end this guy.
Might be a little more exciting.
Might be more exciting.
The wrong kind of exciting, though.
Not the kind of excitement I'm looking to enjoy. So instead, I'll crack my bang energy and we'll amp this up a notch. Yep, so to our right, we got Palm Isles. To our left, we've got Meisner Falls, 55 plus community. A lot of snowbirds that live in there. It's really a very nice community. You've got a synagogue. You've got a funeral home to your left. You've got Detroit Motor City Car Wash, which was recently sold. I think it might be called something else. No, it's called it looks like they dropped the Detroit. Now it's just Motor City Car Wash. But to your right, you see that green space that's being developed. Okay. the second time I almost hit somebody. Let's see if I can pan this out. That sun is not helpful. Yeah, sun isn't really very helpful at this point. Now, if we were to make a right on Hagen Ranch or a left on Hagen Ranch, what you would find is more residential neighborhoods that are very nice, but we're not going to highlight or showcase them today. Instead, we are going to focus our attention on Equus, and we are going to focus our attention on Palmettos. So to give you some history on both communities, Equus was built out with the concept of turning it into an equestrian community, which was built around a massive stable and racing track. And so the residents who lived there would have the ability to walk their horse to their backyard, maybe even stable the horse in the backyard, and then you could walk to and you could be on your horse and ride it to the stable, and it was going to have that was the intent of the community, to be a true equestrian community. And it honestly didn't really work out that way. Now, to our right, you're going to see a bunch of medical complexes. So there are tons of doctors, tons of healthcare. There's a lot of old people that live here in South Florida. So there's all kinds of, any type of doctor or specialist you need, it's here. There is a Target to our left, which I couldn't really showcase, and we're approaching the turnpike. The reason that is good is that if you live anywhere near here and you need to commute, or you want to go to the airport or anything like that, it's a straight shot to Palm Beach International, 20 minutes away. Fort Lauderdale is 30-45 minutes away, depending on traffic. It could be worse. Right now we've got traffic which isn't exactly good. That's not that it's good or bad. It's just heavier than normal because it's season, and so there's a lot of snowbirds that are here right now. But this is the entrance to the turnpike. If you want to go to Orlando, it's 2.5 hours away. I just came from
Orlando this morning. Yeah.
Yep. How long did it take you?
About 2.5 hours. Not a bad ride. Not a ton of traffic.
I was going to say an hour and a half the way you drive.
Yeah. You can't disclose that on video though.
I just did.
Yeah.
I'm only kidding. He's a very slow, safe driver.
Yes. Extremely.
Let's see if I can hand this out. So we are approaching. There we go. So if you watched any of my other Boynton videos, maybe this looks familiar. I'm not sure. But we are on the intersection of Acme Dairy Road and Boynton Beach. If we turn down that to the left, you would find yourself at Canyon Trails, or the back entrances to any of the other canyon communities. On our right, we've got a church. On our left, you've got Sunset Palms, and you've got the Canyon Town Center with tons of shopping, tons of restaurants, everything that you'd ever want like that. But instead of going in there, because I've done lots of content on that, I'm going to our right and into Cobblestone Commons, which is another commercial shopping center. You've got everything you could want in here too. An F45 fitness studio. Shout out to Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. We're bringing the Funky Bunch back. Come on, Dan. Sing something.
I can't do that to your rating. Sorry.
All right. Well, I tried. So Lang Realty. Shout out to Lang Realty. A Winn-Dixie, a Pilates studio, some old people that I'm not going to run over. Or am I? No. This restaurant, Cucina Moderna, is a happening spot. So, like, if you live in these communities and you want to go out here for happy hour and be outside, and this exists also over across the street in the Canyon Town Center. But it's, if you live in these communities, these are the places that you're likely going to. You got a PetSmart, you've got a First Watch. If you're not familiar with First Watch, which I don't know, is First Watch up north at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Is First Watch in this actual complex?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why it looks familiar to me.
Yeah, we ate there.
This is where we ate. Yeah. I don't know if it was this one or if it was across the street.
No, we ate there before. So
highly recommend that place if you've never been.
Yes, Dan and I are both fans of double breakfasts. Of course, the first one is an appetizer.
Yes,
which you definitely need an appetizer for breakfast.
Yes,
and then a main course, which is breakfast.
Yeah.
But this is Cobblestone Commons, and there's a Wawa here. Gas station and mega store as far as gas stations are concerned. And we are now on Lyons Road. So if we went left on Lyons Road, we're headed into Delray Beach. We're going to pass all the canyons. We're going to pass all of those GL communities that I've highlighted in other videos. And if we go right, which is headed north, we're going to pass the communities that I wanted to discuss. There's some weird glare coming in there. But what you'll notice is it's pretty, right? It's there's agricultural land to the left that I suspect will be developed at some point, and then to our right you've got Cobblestone, the community of Cobblestone. And I don't remember if it's Cobblestone Creek, but we're going to drive in and see if they'll let us in. I'm not on the list, and I don't have an appointment, so I'm probably not getting in. But you don't know unless you ask. So Cobblestone Creek, but I can at least showcase what the front of the community looks like, and maybe I can talk our way in. Let's see. If not, Dan's gonna rough them up, right, Dan?
I'll do it for a sandwich.
For a sandwich. Makes sense. What's up, my man? How you doing? I'm doing good. I'm hoping you can help me out, but I don't know if you can. I'm a realtor trying to showcase. I don't want to go. I don't have an appointment. I just wanted to drive around the corner and just show the front facade of the neighborhood. Is that okay? Yeah, just kind of wanted to showcase this area here for clients.
You have a business card?
Yep. Well, I got my ID. This is my.
So you don't have any business card?
I probably have an old business card. You want to hold it, or are you good? I do.
That's the only one you have?
Yeah.
No, do you have multiple so I can keep?
Oh yeah, you can keep a card. You can keep this one.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
You're the man. Have a good day. Oh, the gate just went down. That's what I'm talking about.
It's a win.
You don't ask, you don't receive. So I'm going to give some history here on Cobblestone Commons or Cobblestone Creek that you might not know. So when this was originally developed back in, I want to say 05, but it might have been 06 or I could be dead wrong, and if I am, I'll edit that here. But it's a really nice community. It looks very aesthetically pleasing from the outside. But what they discovered when they developed the community is that they had developed almost everything in here with Chinese drywall. And so that was a disaster. There was a huge issue with Chinese drywall, 10, 15, 20 years ago. And this happened to be one of the communities that was like epicenter of that. So if you have Chinese drywall, very quickly it starts emitting toxic fumes, and nobody wants to live in that, right? So there were lawsuits galore. Eventually, they figured it out, and they had to remediate all the homes that exist in here, and they did. It took time, but there was a period of time where there was a negative bias to living in here, because who wants to live in a community with a home that's made of Chinese drywall? I'm glad to say that has the Chinese drywall season has passed, and this is a really nice community. But there was a period of time where that was really an issue, and I'm pleased to say, hand to God, that doesn't exist anymore. So
It's like a resort almost.
Yeah,
Like
so
a destination, yeah.
Yep. So it's a really pretty community, and if you didn't know about first of all, if you were buying a home in here and there was anything to be disclosed about the home, it would be disclosed with a seller's disclosure, right? Now let's play the game that they decide they're not going to disclose, which is illegal, 100%, but they don't want to disclose that they had any issues with the property. And that's not uncommon. There are a lot of people who don't want to disclose, and that's why there are lawsuits that exist, or arbitrations that exist. But what would happen is, so let's say you go to purchase a home, you write up the contract, they don't disclose anything, and then we find things within the inspection report. Because remember, any purchase that you're going to make on a property, you have the right to inspect that property. So you're going to have, especially knowing there was a Chinese drywall scenario in the past, you're going to ensure that you have the right professionals come in, inspect the property from top to bottom, and they're going to go and essentially rip the house apart from top to bottom and give you a 100-page document on everything that was ever wrong with the property, period. And now, to be clear, you'd get that same 100-page report with everything wrong with the property, even if it was brand new and built yesterday. That's their job. They're going to find things wrong with the property. And when I say wrong, that's probably not the right way to describe it, but they're going to find...
It's like going to the mechanic to get your oil changed. They're going to tell you everything that's going on. It might not be an issue, but it's just disclosing it to let you know that, hey, this could be something in the future.
100%.
Right.
And so part of that is, and this used to have a lot more weight in a different market. In the market that we're in right now, the reality of it is, unless there's something structural or foundationally wrong with the property, the seller's going to tell you it's as is, take it or leave it. But in a different type of market, in a buyer's market where there's a lot more inventory, well, then that report has a lot more weight. So what they're going to do is and we'll use that to negotiate on your behalf. It's just not as effective. It's not at all effective these days. Doesn't mean we're not going to negotiate. Doesn't mean we're not going to ask. Doesn't mean we're not going to lean into them. We're always going to get you the best deal possible. But look at these homes. These are beautiful. I mean, this is a beautiful neighborhood. But I share all that because one of the things that a lot of these inspection companies do is, and a lot of buyers will have sticker shock, or they might be overwhelmed if they're not educated and guided through the process. You might find your dream home. You might fall in love. There might be really nothing wrong with the property, but then you get this inspection report that's 100 pages big, and there are big X's, and there's this insanely high value attached to what it would take to fix all the things that are in the inspection report. That number is always highly inflated. So I'll give I'm assuming it's the same way by
100%, yeah.
Right? So I'll give you an example. Let's say there's something wrong with the light switch. I'm making this up. But there's something wrong with the light switch, right? So you need to replace the light switch. Well, they're going to go out there and say that light switch is $50 to $100. A light switch is not $50 to $100. Go anywhere, and you'll find that it's how much is a light switch these days?
$20 maybe.
$20 for a light switch?
Yeah, maybe if you get a nice one.
Maybe if you're smoking
Fancy
crack.
one.
If you go to Home Depot and there's a light switch for $50, I don't. It's a golden light switch. I don't. Or maybe maybe inflation is taking effect. I don't know, but a GFCI switch, electrical socket, outlet, a covering, whatever, all these things are going to be marked up insanely. And so you might have sticker shock when you see that, but the truth is nobody cares in this market. So if there's not a hole in the roof, or there's not a broken window,
There's
or
not a big enough hole in the roof.
Right, exactly. So if there's not something really wrong with the property, which we're always going to ensure that there's nothing, we're never going to allow anybody to buy a lemon. We're never going to allow anybody to buy anything that we wouldn't want to live in ourselves. The sun is serious right now. You're going to be protected throughout the process, and obviously you're not locked into buying anything if you don't want to. That's why you have an inspection period. Look at this nice lady. Hello. Nice dogs.
Nice car.
I think that dog was Cujo. Looked vicious.
Didn't look anything like Clifford, that's for sure.
That's for sure he did. All right, so just a quick drive through of the community, and it's a resort style community. You've got a real sense of neighborhood in here. You see the people walking their dogs. You see a lot of activity. It's a nice family community, and it's priced, not that there are really any deals out there, but you could find something in here, I want to say between $700 and $900. I think 900 is probably pushing it, but you've got
reasonable.
lakefront homes. And what I will do is I will attach some pictures of the homes that are for sale. There's not a lot of inventory out there, so anything that goes up for sale, ooh, that sun is bright. You see a school bus pulling in. Lots of young families in here.
Yeah, it's definitely. I was gonna say it's a place that I'd consider for sure if I was looking to move.
Yep.
Right now. It's a nice little community.
It's a sweet place to live, and you've got access to really everything. It's a quick 15-minute drive down to the beach, and when they do develop that, like I mentioned, it's going to be similar to Del Rey. That's going to be awesome. So 15 minutes to go down to experience that will be great. Enjoy that coastal vibe. If you want to be in downtown Del Rey, call it 30-45 minutes. You're right there at the beach, right there on Atlantic Avenue. Downtown, happy hour, live music, the best restaurants. It's very similar to Las Olas if you're familiar with Fort Lauderdale, but it's nicer in my opinion.
It's pretty close to the turnpike too.
Exactly.
Far enough away to not hear it, close enough to get onto in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Kind of the best of all worlds in that scenario.
And that's why so many people want to live here. So there's a tremendous demand, not a lot of inventory. Now we're going to pull into Palmettos, which I'm hoping we can access. Again, not on the list, so let's see if we can ask and receive. Now, I have done videos in here before, so if we don't get in, it's not the end of the world.
Put it in here?
Yeah. There we go. My man, how's it going? I'm hoping you can do me a favor. This is my license. I'm a realtor, and I don't have an appointment or anything like that. All I was hoping to do, Igoe, I-G-O-E, Igoe Home Group. All I was looking to do is just kind of drive around and showcase the area to my clients on video. So is it possible to just do a quick drive-through?
I would need the property manager's permission.
Okay.
She's currently not here.
She's not here? Would it be all right if I just drove up to the clubhouse to the U-turn and came back? I'll give you my business card. You have all my contact information. If I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to get the car.
Give him your license.
I don't. It's not my permission who goes in. Everything that goes on, it's someone above who gives me permission. You guys going on?
I understand.
If
yeah.
she doesn't give permission.
I don't want to put you on the spot at all. No, okay. I appreciate that. Well, thank you for thinking about it. All right. I'm gonna go anyway. Breaking the law. I'm not going to abuse this too much. I've already done content in here, but I want you to at least see the clubhouse. And I will link the videos in here. We've helped some buyers relocate to this community, and I'll tell you the story about this community. It's well, first of all, it's incredibly nice. I mean, magnificent, very impressive entrance. They've got good security outside of the fact that I refuse to listen to what he said, which is all good. But you'll see they've got the gated, or not gated. They've got a covered structure for the children who live here, so the parents will drop their kids off there. The school bus will pick them up. Across the street, you've got Equus, which I'm going to showcase and highlight too. And you can see this golf cart. I don't know if you can see it or not. A bunch of kids. I think that's the dad. I hope it's the dad, not the kids driving.
Could be one of the kids.
But that community was essentially a failed community for a long time. And what I mean by that is, I'm driving up to Palmettos racetrack. Oh, they're not going to let me in. I'm not even going to bother. That is a thoroughbred racetrack training facility. And Wellington is definitely the equestrian, it's the winter equestrian center or capital of the world. But if you want the equestrian lifestyle, it's in Wellington. This racetrack and this community, Equus, was trying to be similar to that or replace that, not replace it, but but make that something that's available in Boynton, and it really just never worked. So getting back to Palmettos, the Palmettos community also for a long time didn't work. They just weren't able to sell those homes. So the original builder went in there, built some homes, wasn't really able to sell them. Then Lennar came in, and then a combination of builders came in and finished out the community. But it was challenged inventory. It was hard to, not that it was hard to sell, there just weren't buyers for that price point. And so for a long time, it just sat and didn't sell. Then we have the pandemic, and then those homes just went like hotcakes and appreciated in value very quickly. So now that there is resale that exists in there, but it's obviously sold out, and there's a lot of very happy people who live in there from across the country and around the world. So the equestrian center that we're passing, it was up for sale. I don't know if it's sold yet, but it certainly at one point was an option if you lived here. It no longer is. Now I'm going to drive through. They're not going to let me in, but I'll go through the exercise and then I'll link the video up here. But Equus is an incredibly luxurious community. It is super pretty.
Tell them you're showing me the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Right in the video.
That makes way more sense. See, that's why two brains are better than one. Let me see. It's hold on. I got the magic touch. My man, what's going on? I'm doing good. I'm hoping you could help me out. So I'm a realtor. Here's my driver's license. I don't have an appointment or anything like that, just being honest with you. My friend's here in town, and I was just looking to just show him around the area. And I'm hoping you can get me just to do a drive-through and pop right out. No? I respect that. All right, that's.
You're not the only one that could be trying to do it.
I'm sure. That's why you're here, to ensure that this doesn't happen. I get it. It's cool.
What if we just closely follow another car that comes in?
Sorry?
What if we just closely follow another car that comes in?
Listen.
That's all we're
I said
playing.
you guys can't. If I open this gate, you guys do. Hey, you guys do it, man. I'm good.
All right.
We promise we won't.
Okay. Don't ask, don't tell.
You know what I'm saying?
You're the best. I love you. Have a
Take it
great
easy.
day. And that is how you get into the community illegally. Breaking the law. All right, so we are in.
Two criminals are better than one. That's
That
what
is
they
right.
say.
Now check out this community, and I'm gonna go a little bit closer. So these homes are gonna start in the low millions and go into the twos. They are incredibly in demand. This is a very picturesque neighborhood, very safe outside of the fact that we just talked our way in. But I am a handsome devil, so what can you say there?
And you have backup too.
And I got backup, so. But by and large, it's safe. It is a very pretty community, and you've got estate homes that are really well maintained, very nice. You do have honestly, at this point, I'm not sure what they have in terms of equestrian features. I do know that there are people that have horses. I've got a friend who lives in here, and he's had his horse at his house before. I honestly don't know what the answer is.
There's probably a lot of horsepower in here.
There's definitely a lot of horsepower in here.
$1 million homes.
Yeah.
What is an HOA in a community like this?
So they're all over the place, right? So this, and I don't want to nail myself to the cross and get it wrong. I think it's around $400 a month. It could be plus or minus a little bit. Some of the canyons vary in fees too. I happen to live in Canyon Trails, and I believe that number is south of $200 per month.
Wow.
For all the amenities that we get. And again, as I fully disclosed in my last video, I'm not 100% sure as to what that fee is, because my wife, she handles that, so I don't know. But I know it's low. and it's certainly low relative to the value that we receive for all the amenities that exist there, and the same is true in here too. So you're living the country club lifestyle without the country club fees, which
It's a win.
which is a win, right? Now, if you wanted so a lot of people will say, well, how do, I want that. Well, obviously, if you want that, you can live in one of those communities. But you don't need to live in a golf community to go and play golf or be a member at a club. There are plenty of clubs that exist that you can go out and become a member. Hello. All right.
Friendly.
Some neighbors are more friendly than others. But yeah, so it's certainly, there are golf clubs, there are tennis clubs, there are beach clubs, there are boat clubs. There are a lot of people who move here that want to live or have access to that coastal lifestyle, but they may not have the budget to be able to swing what that is. So there are boating clubs that exist, or maybe that's not even the dollar amount. It's the fact that they don't want the hassle of maintaining a boat and a dock and a slip and this, that, and the other thing. Well, you can join a boat club and you have access to the boat of, what, depending on what your membership is or whatever. But essentially you pick out whatever boat you want to use and you book whatever time you want to use it for, and they maintain and service the boat and gas it up. And actually, I'm not sure who pays for the gas, so don't hold me to that. But I suspect you probably pay for the gas.
Probably pay for the gas.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, you're not constantly having to maintain and deal with the hassle of having a boat. You just say when you want to use the boat, and boom, there you go.
You don't have to worry about storing the boat either, which is another nice.
Right, and when a hurricane comes, what are you doing with the boat? Is it safe?
Yeah.
This, that, and the other thing. It's just not an issue.
The HOA, even if this HOA is $400 to $600, it's pretty reasonable because, just to give you an idea, I'm selling a condo right now. It's for an investor, and the HOA is $350. This is a $200,000 condo you're talking about.
Wow.
One pool.
Yeah, the condos tend to have higher HOAs. Period.
Yeah.
All right, so so this gives you a really good idea of what it's like to live in Equus. And again, I'm going to include more content within this once I edit it to showcase exactly what the amenities are like. I'll include a video that I've done previously in the community so you can learn more about it. And don't sleep on my playlist. So I've created content for many of the communities, many of the cities, many of the subdivisions that exist in South Florida, and they are located in the playlists. So if you go to the playlist section of this channel, you will find them. And so I've got Coral Springs, Parkland, Wellington, Delray, Boca, Deerfield Beach, Highland Beach, Lake Worth. Am I missing anything? I'm sure I'm missing. I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of them, but I've covered a lot of areas. So if you want to learn more about specific areas, check those playlists. In the links below, I'll include the playlist to Boynton, Delray, and Boca Raton. And then separate to that, I'll include links in this video that you can just tap the card and it will take you to that video, and keep watching. So if you've got questions, if you have concerns, if there's an area that you want me to cover, then please let me know. I'm happy to do that. But that's it. This is Equus. This is Palmettos. We are in West Boynton Beach, and these areas are newer. There's zoned for the best schools that exist in these cities. There are plenty of parks, there are plenty of recreation, there's plenty of sports leagues, there's plenty of performing arts, really anything that you would want to have. I mean, swimming, biking, tennis. One thing I didn't talk about in this video, but I have in the past, is this strip of Lyons Road is very well traveled. Now, there's walking paths on both sides. Some of them are shaded, some of them are not. But it's a really, you'll see lots of people out there biking and running, and there are bike clubs. When I was training for triathlon, I would often ride this strip of road on my tri-bike. And then I got to a point where I realized it was stupid because you got, again, distracted drivers and people like me trying to shoot content. And, they're just not paying attention to the road the right way. So I don't. Here you go. You got somebody riding their bike right here.
Yeah. So if you were to make the move here now, you didn't live in the community that you live in right now, or you had to start fresh, would you go to the same community? Would you go to a different part of Boynton, or what do you think?
Yeah, so this would be my target. I would be shopping in this area. And it really would depend on, my budget because, values have increased so much.
Yeah.
I love this area, so I would live, anything in the canyons would be high on my list. Anything out there in the communities that I showcased earlier, I love those areas. Very, very nice. There are some communities that exist in West Lake Worth. So if we had continued down Lyons Road and headed north, we would have ended up in Lake Worth, where there are some other really nice family communities that exist that are also zoned for the best schools that are in these areas. Those would probably be on my list too. There are a few communities that were developed before the real demand hit, so they've got more green space. There's more land. There's not a lot of communities that are like that, but the one that I have in mind is Sherbrooke Estates. I'll create content around that soon, and I'll continue to fulfill my commitment to showcase exactly what it's like to live in a community and in an area. So if that's something that you're interested in, then please subscribe, give it a thumbs up. If there's ever anything we can do to help, please reach out, call, text, send a carrier pigeon, a smoke signal, by any means necessary, because we got your back when it comes to moving to or living in South Florida. And if you're interested in our relocation guide, our free city guide, which will showcase exactly everything you wanted to know about every city in South Florida, then click the link that will be up here, and you'll receive that right away. And again, if there's ever anything we can do to help, you know where to find me. Until next time.